As a home service business pro, creating content is one of the main ways that I'm able to acquire leads. And there's a number of ways that I think content has achieved that in this digital age. I mean, it's never been more easier to be able to advertise and market your home service business. But there is a caveat, and it's making valuable content that's really going to help you stand out in a sea of all this crazy noise that we see on the social medias. In this video, I want to share with you my strategies and what I've learned throughout this journey that I've created content on YouTube. Let's party. Hey pros, thanks for stopping by. And so some of the principles that I'm going to share with you, I learned from this book right here from Alex Hormozi. It's the $100 million Leads. This book is actually really good, and it helps you understand how to acquire leads in a number of ways. And one of the main core topics that he considers in this book is utilizing content to be able to acquire your leads for your home service or any business for that matter. Now, I'm not necessarily going to get into depth in the book because it's a book that I think it reads specifically for mindset. And if you're really considering on purchasing this book, I'm not saying don't, definitely do it, but understand that it's not just going to cover it's going to cover more than just content. It's going to cover advertising and things like that. So this is just one cog. This is just one gear in what is the home service business system, the machine that drives your home service business leads, your marketing, your advertising. All of that is cohesively connected together. And this book really talks very well about that. But what I want to highlight are just some of the things that the book says in here, and just take into account that when you are creating content for your home service business, never underestimate that your story, your personality, you are the actual content. You are the person that wants to connect with people in the online social media outlets, whether that's Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and of course, my favorite, YouTube. Still, if you're not careful, these mediums, these social media platforms can easily get you sucked into creating and copying what everyone else is doing with regards to their social media strategy, which to a certain degree is not always the best thing. In other words, you want to stand out. And it's very important that the best way to stand out, or that you understand that one of the ways that I've been able to stand out and what you can do to stand out is by creating content that is valuable. And the most valuable content comes from a very specific space, and that is from our hearts, from our own person, from our own experiences, which no one can really refute, right? And that's something that Alex Hormozi mentions in his book right here. He talks about how sometimes people will say like, "Oh, that didn't happen," but it's your truth. In other words, it's not, you're not saying like, "Oh, this is the only way." This is just your way of saying through your content, this is one of the ways that I have been able to accomplish this. And I really appreciate that idea, because there's a lot of people who are going to heckle you. They're going to make fun of you. They're going to ridicule you, and you can let them do that. Don't waste your time, and especially with social media, don't invest your time in fighting the trolls. So many trolls are going to be out there. So many are going to want to probably break your spirit by telling you something about you or trying to criticize you without even knowing anything about you. And they'll do that just because their hearts are hurt. Or one of the expressions that I heard from a great podcaster, content creator, was Pat Flynn. And this expression that he used was hurt people hurt people. And that's so true. So if you can create that tough skin for yourself, and as you create your content, you want to be able to think like, well, I know I'm putting myself out there. I know that people are going to probably come at me, and that's perfectly fine. You are not doing this home service business or any business for them. You are not doing the content for them. It's not for them. If they have something negative to say, then it's just basically that content did not speak to them. Now, that does not necessarily mean that it won't speak to everyone. you will find a number of people, a world of people, in fact, that will want to connect with you and that will be able to not only perceive your message, but accept your message. Your message will be able to inspire them. It's just so much that you can do when it comes to your own social media content for your home service business. And the point that I want to get at there is that remember that you are the most valuable part of the content. You yourself, your perspective, your truth, what you've lived, how you go about repairing a certain thing or doing a certain aspect in your home service business. This is great stuff. And we are seeing a lot more of it. I'm actually really impressed on how many home service business, not gurus, but just people that are I would say they're definitely becoming more comfortable in their skin and they're talking about their projects. There's a number of garage door guys that I follow that I think do great work. I think these guys are really helping the community by considering some of the simple topics that they'll share, and they'll be able to utilize those garage door pro tips to help their people or their families within the community. Now, granted, not everybody's one and the same, and you might find yourself trying to compete with them, but don't worry about doing that. In fact, that's going to be a waste of time. You don't need to compete per se with them. All you need to do is to find your own voice, your own strategy, your own message, and you want to convey that voice in a clear, concise way that's going to retain the attention of your viewers. And it's also going to inspire them to take action in reaching out to you. Now, that's one of the things that Alex Hormozi's book, this book that we have right here, $100 million Leads, he talks about how posting free content grows what is your warm audience. Now, think about what your warm audience is. It's already the people that kind of know who you are. They kind of like know who you are within the community. They might be your neighbors. They might be your friends and family within the community. You might have a number of friends who like know you, sort of, right? They don't know you intimately or like, like close friendships, but they know you because they follow you on social media. And it's more than likely that that warm audience is going to require a home service business, or I should say a home service need. Their HVAC might be down, their TV might break, their appliance might break, their electrical might go wrong. Well, clearly, when those friends that technically follow you, they're going to be the ones that are going to be considered your warm audience. So when you post content about the stuff that you do and how you do it, that's going to help that warm audience understand who to go to. And clearly, it's going to give them the incentive of reaching out. So post free content, which will grow that audience. Consistently post free content means you'll have to constantly grow that audience so that people will more likely buy your stuff. So it's not so much just doing it once, like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. I do garage door stuff now. Follow us, give us a call. No, it's got to be more than that. You have to consistently grow that audience so that way people will more than likely want to reach out to you. And here's the kind of like the epiphany that I got out of this book. Free content makes all other advertising more effective. If you reach out to someone and they can't find the content related to your services, they're less likely to buy. On the other hand, if they find lots of valuable content, they're more than likely to buy. Now, I'm going to pause right here, specifically because this is a strategy that I have implemented for my home service business. It's one of the things that I think for me has really allowed me to kind of be more useful in my community, because I'm not just simply saying like, hey guys, good morning. I had this coffee this morning and I'm out driving in my community and here I am. I'm going to eat my hamburger. It's nothing like that. It's more like, today we found this crazy situation with this garage door, and these were the things that created that garage door to go bad. And here was one of the 3 ways that we were able to handle it. And here are, 2 takeaways that you can handle your garage door needs whenever that situation pops up. Valuable content, stuff that's going to get people intrigued. The content itself is going to enable viewers, your warm audience, to appreciate that, hey, I learned something. And they may not necessarily need your services now, but who knows about in the future? In fact, I've had so many just because I've posted content on my socials, just because I've posted it on my Instagram and my TikTok. And of course, I do it all the time on my YouTube channel. Well, so many reach out and they say, like, hey, I saw your YouTube channel. My uncle, my brother, my father-in-law, hey, their garage door is bad. Can you go check it out for them? And that's just, I love that. I love being able to get leads through the content that I post. But again, posting that content has to be valuable. Now, let's kind of shift on the strategy of what we would want that valuable or that value proposition to be. How do we acquire, not necessarily acquire, but build? How do we build that value proposition? Well, it's real simple. If you have one of these, if you have a cell phone, okay, if you have a cell phone, you're going to be able to build a catalog of content. What do I mean by that? Well, if you see a situation in your home service business trade within your industry, and it's a common one, why not document the actual problem? Think about it. Here's the problem that we're dealing with for this electrical issue, or this plumbing issue, or this garage door issue. For example, garage door safety sensors are notoriously one of those pain points that many homeowners find. And specifically, what happens is that the garage door will try to close, but it's not. It starts to close, comes back up. The motor starts to click. It starts to make these crazy noises. You're frustrated. You don't know what to do. They're going on social media and saying, why is my garage door not closing? Oh, here's a video on how to align my garage door safety sensors. Does my red sensor blink or is my green light flashing? How can we get those two aligned? How can we get them connected so we can close the garage door? If you can think of something within your home service industry that's like that, that's content that you can document, do it. Do it. The valuable content is what's going to get people connected to your home service business. Now, with that mentality or that value proposition of documenting that content, you're now going to say, here's the solution on how to do it. So we have the problem. Now we're going to get the solution. And so what solution would that be specifically for the garage door safety sensors? It's going to be the alignment, but it may not just be the alignment. It could be the wire connection. It could be something obstructing the safety sensors. It could even be the sunlight obstructing the sensors. The point is that whenever you highlight the problem, you want to move on to the solution. What is the solution? And you want to document that solution again with your cell phone. You want to document how that problem is solved by you. Now, you might have a specific way how you might want to do that. And I think in a lot of times, like, for example, someone who's like in the electrical field, hey, this light switch is not working. Well, what would you do? Would you go to the breaker? Would you open up the lights? Maybe there's a tool that will help you to find where there's a break in the line. This is what we would do first, right? The possibilities are endless. But again, the value proposition, what is valuable from your content that you are already doing and getting out to your community, well, that's the stuff that you really want to hone in and make it unique to you. Now, notice how I say unique to you, because the solution should be something that comes from you, something that you've probably already have implemented in your home service business trade for years. And now you're sharing it. And I know that sometimes many home service business professionals think like, well, wait a minute, I'm not going to give my trade secrets on these social medias because I don't want anyone doing the fix on their own and not calling me. My friend, all I can say to that is you do what you want. But people will not find your business if you are not offering them free, valuable content like that. Now, the truth is that when it comes to, for example, the electrical issue that I had mentioned, well, some people are going to have a certain level of confidence We're going to be like, okay, I can get into the electrical box and I can re-switch a breaker, or I can open up this switch and see if it burnt out. I can even use that tool to see if it's going to show me where my break in the line is at. But once I start getting into the walls or the wiring, and I'm pulling wiring and I'm actually getting inside the electrical box, yeah, maybe their level of confidence is just not there. And that's where that valuable content is going to be like, wait a minute, I saw this dude do this great thing. I'm going to reach out to him. That's where our third point with regards to our valuable content, the value proposition that we provide, is giving them a call to action, a CTA. A call to action can be pretty simple. It could be, check out our website, call our number below, visit the link below. For more information, click here, check out this other video. Whatever the case is, you want to give them something to do. You want to entice them to take action. By taking action, they're actually going to see where they're going to find that solution. And again, how will they do that? With this little beautiful device right here, this thing that is connected literally to the world. They're going to get more information on your home service business. They're going to reach out to you and they're going to want to contract your services. Why? Because you documented a problem. You provided them how you would solve that problem, the solution, and you gave them a call to action. You gave them something to do, somewhere to go so they can communicate with you. When I get leads like this, oh man, I get so excited. I really do. And it's not because I'm thinking like, oh, it's a free lead. It's like, oh, I didn't have to pay Google. I didn't have to pay Yelp. I didn't have to pay, any of these outlets for advertising. Trust me, I still do that. I have to do that because my content creation or my content is part of a strategy that encompasses everything in my home service business. But the reason why I appreciate so much, why I love so much being able to provide valuable content on my social media, specifically on my YouTube channel, and having people reach out to me, is because I know that I have created or I have built a relationship. I have built an actual connection. I had a guy reach out to me one time, and this is a great story. He had found me on YouTube, and he was like, hey, I noticed you are in my area. He was in Rancho Cucamonga. I'm in Chino. And he's like, I saw your video. It was so great. I want to go with one of those. I want that new garage door opener. I want it installed. And I was like, yeah, that's great. We can definitely take care of you. That's not a problem. I was actually working a big project around that time. And so I was going to be at least a week out for this guy. And I told him, I said, this is where I'm at right now. My next availability is going to be this week. And he says, okay. And I'm like, but I can send you one of my guys to go out there and get it knocked out for you. And this is what he told me after that. This blew my mind. He's like, no, I saw you on the video. I trust you. I want you to come out. That right there was validation that creating content for my home service business was not a pipe dream. It was not a waste of time. It was not something that I was just basically kind of like filling the pipeline and saying, let's see if this sticks. No, it works. And if there's anything that I can highlight with regards to the valuable content that we should be making for our home service community, or I should say for our home service business that serves the community, it's got to be valuable content. It's got to be able to provide them an idea of what the problem is, how you solved it, the solution that you provide as a unique person, as a unique home service business provider, and the call to action that's going to give them, I would say, that trust. It's going to encourage them, incite them. It's going to motivate them to reach out to you. And that's why you got to give them the opportunity to do so. Now, I have a specific strategy on how I like to do that. And some guys I have seen where they'll put their phone number and stuff like that, but that seems too much like an ad. And so the fine line here, and this is where I would really encourage you to think about your strategy when creating content. Don't make it salesy. People don't like to be sold. They love to buy. They love to be able to take the action to solve their problem. But if we put phone numbers and things like that, it's just going to seem like an ad. And ads do not have the same, I would say, the same DNA as content. You can definitely use content for an ad, but the free value, again, the value proposition behind your free content has to give. It's almost like you're saying, I want to give this to you. I want to give you a solution. Hey, are you going through this situation? Here's 1, 2, 3 methods that you can get it done. Hopefully that helps. If you want more information, click the link below or visit or see this next video. In reality, and there's a statistic, I believe, in one of the business magazines that were brought out. I can't remember the source, but the idea is that the community, viewers, people who are looking for your services need to see you roughly around 7 times before they'll actually take that step to contact you. Now, think about that. 7 times. They have to at least see roughly around 7 video shorts on several different platforms. They got to see you on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Nextdoor. Oh my gosh, there's so many that are out there. You take your pick. For me, YouTube has been, I would say, the best return of investment. But that may not necessarily be for you. And when it comes to home service business providers, I tend to find that on Instagram, there's a number of moms. Moms, whew, they're moving the world, yo. They are moving the world. Moms will reach out through Instagram. They're going to be like, oh, I need this. I need the dishwasher fixed. I need the dryer fixed. I need the garage door fixed. And they love Instagram for that specific reason. I know that Pinterest is kind of like similar, but I don't put my content on there. I do utilize Instagram, TikTok, but mainly YouTube. YouTube is very big. And it's because I understand that YouTube has this specific strategy with regards to who they're going to get their content out to. The TikTok generation is a little bit younger. We already said that moms are looking for the Instagrams. Facebook, everyone's pretty much on Facebook. So I do get a lot of, I would say, leads or activity. Let's say it that way. Activity through Facebook. But YouTube is a big one. I get a lot of people reaching out through YouTube, and I love that. So that's what I want to encourage you. To recap, here's the takeaways. You want to start posting content now. You want to be consistent. You do not want to stop. This is how your warm audience is going to reach out to you. You want to bring valuable content that's going to provide a problem, a solution, and a call to action. What's the issue and how you fixed it and how they can find either the next piece of content or what they can do to basically reach out to you. And last but not least, don't worry about the trolls. Don't worry about the people who are like, this content sucks, or this didn't explain what I needed to do, or you talk too much. Don't worry about that, because basically that content was not for them. It was not made for them. It did not help them. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you did something wrong. It just didn't speak to them. And that's perfectly fine. You're going to find a ton of people like that out there. But there will be an insurmountable amount of people who is going to want to reach out to you because they saw your free, valuable content, because they saw how you wanted to help their issue, how you wanted to help the community, how you want to serve with your home service business a number of people, as many as you possibly can. When you perceive that, and as you put many reps into your content creation by utilizing this interesting device to create the catalog of content, you do it every day, you post it every day, you continue to offer that value proposition every day. Yes, I will say every day, you're going to find someone who's going to be interested in working with you and your home service business.